In this lecture, we learn the addition of complex numbers. How to add complex numbers. First, we will solve the general method and then with proper examples. For example, we have a complex number z1 equal to a plus b iota, and the second complex number z2 is equal to c plus d iota. Given that adding both complex numbers, let's start the solution of this method. We will add simply the left hand side of both the complex number, which is z1 will be added to z2, which is equal to z1. The value of z1 is a plus b iota. Simply write the value of z1, then with the plus sign which is on the left hand side, and then write the value of z2, which is c plus d iota. So we simply add the real parts with each other, which is a plus c. z1 plus z2 will be equal to a plus c, which is its real part, and then the imaginary number will be added with each other, which is b iota plus d iota, b iota plus d iota. Now we will take iota common from the imaginary part. The real part will be the same, a plus c, plus take common iota. So the remaining will be b plus d, z1 plus z2. We also write in this form, in the polar form, x comma y is equal to the value of x is a plus c, comma the value of y is b plus d, which is imaginary part, b plus d. So we will use this method for addition of complex numbers. Let's solve with proper examples. The question is, given that z1 is equal to 4 plus 5 iota and z2 is equal to 6 minus 3 iota. Given that add z1 and z2. So we will solve this question. Solution: simply add the left hand side of both the complex numbers, which is z1 will be added to the left hand side of the second complex number, which is z2, is equal to, the value of z1 is 4 plus 5 iota, 4 plus 5 iota, plus the value of z2 is 6 minus 3 iota, 6 minus 3 iota. So just simply add the real numbers without iota, which is 4 plus 6, and those numbers which have iota, 5 iota minus 3 iota. Let's add 4 plus 6 will be equal to 10 plus 5 iota minus 3 iota will be 2 iota. This is the value of Z1 plus Z2. So real part of Z1 plus Z2 is equal to 10 and imaginary part of Z1 plus Z2 is equal to 2. In polar form x comma y we have 10 comma 2. This method is already solved in the graphical representation in the xy coordinate axis. This is the answer. Our next method is subtraction of complex numbers. So let's see how to subtract complex numbers. First we will solve the general method for subtraction of complex numbers. Let's see how to subtract complex numbers. Example, we have first complex number Z1 is equal to A plus B iota and the second complex number Z2 will be equal to C plus D iota. Given that, subtract Z2 from Z1. Keeping in mind that if given that in question part that subtract Z2 from Z1, we write first the value of Z1 then the value of Z2 in solution. Given that subtract Z2 from Z1, it means that we will write the value of Z1 first then the value of Z2. Z1 minus Z2. The value of Z1 is A plus B iota. In subtraction part, adding the round brackets is very important because of the sign, because of the negative sign, which is multiplied by the numbers. Write the value of Z2, which is C plus D iota. A plus B iota minus will be multiplied inside the bracket, which is minus C, and this minus is also multiplied with the plus D iota, which will be minus D iota. Now subtract the real part and then the imaginary parts. The real part is A minus C plus B iota minus D iota. A minus C will be same and take common iota from imaginary part. Iota will be common. B minus D. We use this method for the subtraction of complex numbers. Let's solve with proper example. We have a question. Z1 is equal to 8 plus 6 iota and the value of Z2 is equal to 6 minus 5 iota. Given that in question, subtract Z2 from Z1. Let's see how to solve this question. Given that in question subtract Z2 from Z1, we will write first the value of Z1 minus Z2 is equal to the value of Z1 is 8 plus 6 iota, 8 plus 6 iota minus value of Z2 is 6 minus 5 iota. Simply multiply the negative sign inside the bracket. 8 plus 6 iota will be same, followed by minus 6. This minus is multiplied with the plus sign, which is minus 6. If this negative sign is multiplied with the negative number, this results a positive sign, 5 iota. Z1 minus Z2, simply subtract these two numbers. 8 minus 6 is 2, and add these two numbers, plus 6 iota and plus 5 iota is equal to 11 iota. The real part of Z1 minus Z2 is equal to 2, and imaginary part of Z1 minus Z2 is equal to 11. This is the answer. A very simple technique